Hey, what's up guys? This is Taylor and I'm doing the nightly video for October 15th. We have earnings from TSM tomorrow morning, and that of course could shake things up here in the short term for your Nvidias, Broadcoms, AMDs, all of the beloved SMH names, a few of which I want to buy. So, putting aside a giant gap down from TSM tomorrow, one I'm liking would be Broadcom with a 4-hour and a daily squeeze. And look, in the right market, that daily squeeze could give you a path back into a brand new all-time high. Overall here, I love the pattern of daily squeeze back into, mid-August, end of September. And they take that into earnings, gap it up, they push it, they pull it back. On the pullback, everything holds up pretty good here. Structure is bullish, the trend is bullish. Above that 340-ish buy zone, if they can get that MACD down here back above zero, positive shift on the MACD, we'll get the buy trigger. Then we're jumping in looking for a path into 375, maybe a bit higher. That one I'm liking, and then more of a bigger picture idea. But if the chips can have, call it good Q4, Qualcomm off of the monthly squeeze, I'm liking it for a bet into, could be the March expiration, could be the April expiration. If you look at the April expiration, the market maker is currently priced in about a $200. They currently price in about a $40 expected move. Meaning the market makers think between now and March of next year, May of next year rather, they're thinking, best case scenario, Qualcomm is maybe a $200-ish stock. The monthly squeeze says if you can break it out and fire long, potentially well before that May expiration, never mind $200, we could be looking up here at that 225, 240, 250 target. So it's a little bit like AMD from a few weeks ago. Here comes AMD, brand new monthly squeeze, and you're chopping around 130, 140. Indicator begins to lean bullish. There's your chance. Buy the calls early. You can try to catch the market makers off sides. They don't look at the squeeze. They don't take into consideration we are going through the compression phase, building up all the big energy, potentially on the verge of a bigger than expected move. So could be a big morning there for better or for worse for the chip names. No pressure TSM, but I'm liking the squeeze on Broadcom. I like the monthly chart here for Qualcomm. And then otherwise, guys, a couple of things off of the dashboard. We'll take a quick peek there. And for today's close, the dashboard is in neutral bullish territory. Say that 5 times fast. Market is neutral bullish, led by the IWM, QQQ, S&Ps, Dow Jones, and the RSP. And then down here for the sector leadership, first place is utilities, followed by silver, gold, biotech, SMH, ARC, and the XLK. My flavor of choice there is a bit more of the XLK and the SMH. And then from the Big Ten basket, generally my favorite 10 names to trade. In first place, we would have who? The big man on campus, TSM, followed by Google, Broadcom with 84% of its best score. Tesla back here at 65%. And for Tesla, we have the 500 calls for January. That being a trade I would like to buy more of. And that would be maybe a conversation for after earnings or a conversation for ideally an entry on a white or a green arrow back here on the histogram, a lot like the original entry off of the 2-day squeeze. If we can make every entry we take the green arrow entry, we should be in overall pretty good shape. So Tesla I'm liking, and then a couple things here off the beaten path. All right, if we go to the main list here, main list and then the all tab, that'll show us the 1,323 names currently in that database. And don't forget, during the market hours, all live data. But all right, out of the 1,300 names here, I'm in what kind of market? I'm in a neutral bullish market. Therefore, I want to lean a bit bullish. Therefore, I'm going to avoid anything like an Adobe, an NOG, EOG. Those are the bad boys. So I'm going to say, all right, only show me names with 80% of their strongest score or better. And now by doing that, we narrowed it down from 1,300 names to 230. We can keep it going. Now, by market cap, my preference is usually going to be large cap and mega. So I can click on the little icon right here, and then I'm going to say, deselect all, and then I'm going to click on large and mega. Now we've gone from 200 and change down to about 90 names. And now from here, for a good entry for both a day trade or a swing trade, I'm a big fan of anchoring to the daily 21 EMA. So I'm going to go to the ATR 21 column. And then we're going to say, all right, only show me names that are 1.5 average true range moves above their 21 EMA. So less than or equal to 1.5. And now from 1,300 names, we've narrowed it down to about 36. They're all bullish. They're either large cap or mega cap, and they're not too far from their daily 21 EMA. And that would be names like Postage, DLR, Sophie. Again, I'm liking Broadcom. I do like the Broadcom. What about maybe Google? So Google here. Right, Google's sitting pretty with 90% of its best score. That ain't shabby. Google, believe has a daily squeeze. Yeah, I like that combo of a 4-hour and a daily. So checking the 4-hour. Do we have a green arrow? And we don't just yet. Could get it later in the week. And then better yet on the daily squeeze, any green arrow and not just yet. If we do get the trigger, yeah, I like it for a breakout and continuation of what I think could be a bigger picture move into higher prices off of the recent monthly squeeze I fired long from back here. Google looking pretty sharp, and then one more point of view would be we can change all the filters and then say, all right, show me things that are bullish, 80% of their best score, but now narrow that down to show me names with 20% short float or higher. So SF for short float. And that would be names like who? SOUN, BTDR, SMY. One that I found from yesterday was SMR. Combination of good overall score, heavily shorted with 33% short float. Then combining that with, let's grab SMR here. But now taking that heavily shorted name, combining that with daily squeeze, white arrow trigger, the weekly squeeze with the green arrow trigger, can make for a great combo. So something I'm going to work on moving forward is for these, cheaper, off the beaten path names, taking that moment in time, doing that through the equity. So for the SMR here, bought a little bit of that earlier in the week, took profit on the pop today. That was good for about, let's take a peek, $5,000 today, and overall in that trade, good for, let's go see. So far in the month of October, I've closed about $66,000 of profit. And then breaking that down by trades here. Where are we? So SMR. All said and done, long from 44.34, out of there for a profit at 48.92. Good for a $6,600 profit. And again, I think more of that coming. Squeeze is setting up for NVIDIA, Google. Broadcom has a few bigger time frames like Qualcomm. They got a few of these, higher short float names. None more important than the S&P and the QQQ. Put them first. Watch those daily squeezes. Be patient. And until things change, I think we're in the market for what could be some continued squeeze action. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night, and I'll catch you in the room tomorrow. Adios.